Say you only have 24 to 48 hours in Berlin, Germany. Well, in this video, we will talk about the things that you must visit in those 24 to 48 hours to make that visit as efficient as possible. So follow along and let's get the adventure started. Welcome to Travel Adventures with Eric B. I'm Eric B. If you're new here, I offer travel advice. I'm a solo traveler and I do vlogs to help you travel better and more efficiently. What's up, YouTube, and welcome to Travel Adventures with Eric B. I'm Eric B, and today we're going to talk about 12 things that you should see and do in a short visit to Berlin, Germany. Follow along and let's get the adventure started. Berlin is a huge city, so you should definitely take advantage of the public transportation system here. And it'll get you around everywhere, from zone to zone, everywhere you need to get to. The U-Bahn and the S-Bahn is a fantastic way to travel the city, very efficient. The U-Bahn and the S-Bahn are the subway systems in Berlin. The U-Bahn is an underground, mostly underground rail system that travels through 9 lines and 175 stations. Most of the lines are underground, and most of them open between 4 a.m. and 1 a.m. and the trains run usually between every 5 to 10 minutes. The S-Bahn works more like the regional trains because it travels through the center of Berlin, and it also travels through the areas and the surrounding areas around Berlin, not all within the city. But you pay one fare for both, and it's very efficient. It's cleaner than the New York subway system, very efficient. I highly recommend, if you're going to get around this massive city, take the U-Bahns and the S-Bahns around. Pretty much any tourist attraction you want to go to, you can get there by train. Definitely need to come down here to Alexanderplatz. This area is an area with so much history and so much to see. One of the most visited squares in Berlin is famous Alexanderplatz, former capital of East Berlin, where you can go take a tour of the famous Berlin TV Tower, which opened in 1969 and has a viewing tower on top and a revolving restaurant. You can also take the U-Bahn to get here, and here you also have the world famous world clock, which shows the current time of 148 major cities around the world, created back in 1969. And in this area, you can find tons of beautiful churches. You can find tons of bars, restaurants, and shopping. The next place you should visit is a short walk from Alexanderplatz, and that's the Berlin Cathedral. You can go inside of this cathedral for just $10.90 euros. The original building was built in 1491, but this structure you see right here was built in 1905, and it survived the damages of World War II. Received a big renovation back in 1993, and it's right in it's the anchor for Museum Island. So it is the anchor, not a museum, but the beautiful Berlin Cathedral. Another must visit, which is also located in the Alexanderplatz area within walking distance, is the incredible Neptune Fountain. It's one of the most beautiful fountains I've ever seen. In my opinion, the second most beautiful I've seen behind Trevi Fountain in Rome. Now, this fountain was built in 1891, and the centerpiece of it is the Roman god Neptune. Now, there are many different Neptune fountains from Italy, Germany, and other parts of the world. It currently moved to its location where it's at right now in 1969, right between the St. Mary's Church and the Rathaus is where you'll find it. But this is definitely a must visit. The detail is absolutely amazing. So the next must-visit spot is the East Side Gallery, established in 1990. So if you're taking the public transportation, you're going to want to get off on the Ostbahnhof, or the East Side train station exit. And you're going to get out and you're going to walk a little bit to the left, and you'll see these huge pieces of the former Berlin Wall. The East Side Gallery is a memorial of the Berlin Wall. It is a permanent open-air gallery of art. From over 100 artists have assembled this, where you can find the most remnants of the former Berlin Wall. When you come here, you should come to the west side and visit the Zoological Garden. This is one of the best zoos I've been to. Excellent zoo. First zoo I've been to in Europe. Definitely worth it. You could pay a little extra and go see the aquarium. If not, just come right here to this zoo, because this zoo is excellent. It doesn't disappoint. So come check out the Zoological Garden. Next place you should check out is the Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Church. So if you're getting out of the public transportation to go to the Zoological Garden, you will see this church before you get there. Built in 1890 in honor of Kaiser Wilhelm I. In World War II, the church was bombed and severely damaged, but it's still left standing damaged. At least one tower of it is, as a symbol against war, to show the damages that war can create. So you can come check it out and actually go in and see a little memorial. The city wanted to tear down the tower and rebuild it after the war, but the people of West Berlin decided we want the tower to stay up as a symbol of the people's resilience. The next place you should see in your short visit here is the Reichstag, or the Parliament Building, the legislative government building, which serves as the seat of the parliament in Germany. Now, the Reichstag, actually, you could come during the day and you could go in and actually sit in on a session and actually watch the government body in work. World War II, it was heavily damaged and rebuilt and renovated back in 1994. But this is a beautiful building, and you should definitely come and check it out for absolutely free. And even though it's free to get into the government building, don't forget to register online, because they will ask for your ID to come in, or passport, of course. This next must-visit attraction in this short visit is Brandenburg Gate, but you probably already know it is the most visited landmark, the ultimate symbol of the city. This 18th century monument, which was built in 1788 and finished in 1791, this neoclassical structure represented the old division between East and West Berlin. And one of the nice things about it now is you can walk down the middle and really check everything out. Back in the day, you could only pass through the middle if it was reserved for royalty. And also, this is also the spot at Brandenburg Gate where former U.S. President Ronald Reagan made his famous speech.
Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
The next must visit is Checkpoint Charlie, which is about a 20-minute walk from the Brandenburg Gate or the Reichstag, but there's also an U-Bahn station where you can get off. It's right there, make it a very short walk. One of several border crossings between East and West Berlin, but this one is famous because of an incident in 1961 and ended in a 16-hour standoff. And so it happened because the U.S. diplomat wanted to go to an opera in East Berlin, and he was denied access. So the U.S. required that diplomats go to East Berlin, be escorted by military vehicles. And so the Soviets responded by deploying tanks to Checkpoint Charlie. So it was end up a 16-hour standoff. But there are also several museums in the area for Checkpoint Charlie. Make sure you check those out if you have time. Next must-visit spot in Berlin is Potsdamer Platz. This is somewhere else that you can access very easily from the S-Bahn station, as you can get off and check out this area. Now, this area was at one time one of the busiest crossings in all of Europe before being destroyed in World War II and built back up around 1998 to the full modern metropolis that it's become today. Now, this area you can find tons of restaurants, tons of bars, and an amazing skyline full of big new modern buildings. This is definitely not your half-timbered homes that you see in much of Germany. If you're looking for that, you won't find it in this area. This is definitely a modern area here. And the last thing to do in your short visit here to Berlin is to check out Museum Island. Now, of course, there's an U-Bahn station that'll also take you here as well. Now, Museum Island is a complex of museums. There's 5 museums here, but also the impressive Berlin cathedrals I showed you earlier. But Museum Island, the architecture here is so incredible that you don't even have to go in any of these to really enjoy the art and the architecture here. But if you do choose to go in, I recommend getting a package where you can see all 5 museums for one price, as opposed to paying individual fees for a couple different museums, because it'll add up really fast if you're paying the fees, of course, if you have the time. But there are many different types of museums, from the Altes Museum, which is built like like the Pantheon in Rome. You have museums with all different types of art, including Nefertiti's bust. So a lot of different art, a lot of different places to check out, including that impressive Berlin Cathedral. So you definitely want to be here on Museum Island. Even if you don't go in any of the museums, you should definitely come by and check it out. And if you're only here for a day or two, chances are your best route is to just come and check it out. Maybe go in the lobby of one or two, but you probably don't have time to go in a lot of them if you're only here for a day or two. And that's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I ask that you please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the bell notification so you can know when I have more videos coming out. And as always, remember, live today, grow today, tomorrow's never guaranteed. Peace and travel. Lots and lots of travel. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like, share, subscribe button. Leave any comments below. I love to interact. And if you would like to help the channel continue to grow, please consider hitting that join button and becoming a member of the Peace Corps and help us to continue to grow as a travel community.